Howdy folks, I hope you're all doing well. I hope the lockdown's not causing you too many problems, although it's starting to loosen up now, so hopefully most people are going back to work and everything is good. As promised, there is another flight sim video today. We are going to do a bit of VFR flying today. I'm down in Bristol. I'm from the West Country originally, so it's sort of my backyard. We're at Clutton Hill Airfield, or airstrip. It's an airstrip actually. It's a private farm type airstrip just outside Bristol on the A37, a little village called Clutton. I will show you where. That's Bristol Airport there, in the orange circle on the left. Out in the near Barrow Gurney tanks, which is the reservoir, and Clutton is near Chew Valley Lake and Blagdon Lakes. You've got Cheddar down here where the cheese is from, Weston-super-Mare where lots of people like to go on holiday. Breen Down is that sticky out bit there, which we should get a nice little view of today in the planned route. Haven't done some VFR flying for a while. I'm going to be sort of flying at 2,000 feet. We're going to go up and have a look through the city of Bristol. Get a look at the Clifton Suspension Bridge. Head out past the Portbury Dock, Portbury and Avonmouth Dock. So Bristol Port is here. Portbury's on this side. As you can see, that's Portbury 100 there, the infamous Portbury 100. And that is the Avonmouth Dock on the other side. I think it's one of the oldest, I want to say it's one of the oldest ports in the country, but I can't tell you that for sure. They're very self-contained. So Bristol Port has its own police, has its own ambulance, and I believe certainly has its own fire trained personnel. But it's right next to Avonmouth Fire Station, so it's a huge working port. Lots and lots of sort of where the new cars and things come in. Bristol is obviously a very historic city. So on the western side, you've got things like the old gasworks. You've got the SS Great Britain. That behind the gasworks is actually where the Schweppes drinks were first brought in. So there's lots of interesting stuff. Highly recommend if you visit Bristol, you go on the Bristol Open Bus tour ride. They do an open top bus which runs from Temple Meads. It's a fantastic city. It's got its faults like everywhere else, but it certainly is good. So we're going to go and have a look at that. Clutton is down here. Bath Spa is just over here in the east, and then you've got you go on over into Wiltshire. Culloden Airfield, RAF Culloden is up here. Where else have we got? Yeovil is down a little bit further past Castle Carey, so Yeovilton Air Base is just there, and then Merryfield's further over again. Completely VFR. I'm in the Cessna 152, so won't be cheating with any GPS. And there's a high chance we'll get lost. I'm taking a little bit of fuel, a little bit extra fuel, 62% fuel, just in case that does happen. So we're going to try and avoid Bristol Airport because there'll be traffic coming in there on the live traffic. So the plan is to go out through the city of Bristol, down handrail the coast, down Portishead, Clevedon, Weston-super-Mare, and as soon as we get visual with Breen Down, we'll cut in back across Weston-super-Mare. We'll be looking for Blagdon and Chew Valley Lake, and then hopefully landing runway 07 again back at Clutton Hill Airfield. Clutton Hill is, as I say, it's a farm. They do various different things, cider and all sorts of stuff, and they've got their own airstrip, which I think they've got their own 172, Cessna 172 or 152, which they use to ferry customers around and go to meetings. As far as I'm aware, it's a bit of a business opportunity. So main landmarks, we've got the West Country Main Line, which is this railway which runs through Yatton, Backwell, Flaxbourton, all the way up into Bristol. We have got obviously the River Avon and the Clifton Suspension Bridge. We've got the coast, so we should get a nice view of the Welsh coast as well. See across the Cardiff. If you're down at Weston on Breen Down, particularly on Breen Down, also if you're down in Burnham, you can quite often see the crossings, the bridges really well. And there's also a couple of islands out here. It's called Flatholm and Steepholm, which we'll get a good view there. And they're like sanctuary islands for birds and things like that. They have got one of them's got an active lighthouse. Flatholm's got an active lighthouse on, and a foghorn, but I don't believe that's operational anymore. And they were used as defences during the war, so we'll have a look at that. Anyway, let's get on and get up in the air. We're going to be departing out obviously to the northwest once we take off, so runway 07, even though it's just a grass strip airfield, is just in front of us here. That's the farm buildings over there, farmhouse, and they've got a hangar in the real one as well, a very small hangar. I think it's just off here somewhere. So we'll crack on and we'll jump in and we'll get started up. I have got a Cessna checklist here. Pre-flight inspection is completed, seats are adjusted, fuel shut-off valve is on, and the radios, electrical equipment, we'll get the batteries on. What I'm going to do, obviously there's no HOTAS service or ATC service here, so I'm going to tune to Bristol HOTAS, and we'll, because it's just over the road, and it's Echo Golf Golf Delta, so 126030. 126030. Okay, also, on my last video, which I only did a couple of days ago, I had a comment from Chunk, so shout out to Chunk, thanks very much. We will be in touch to do some group flights. They've got another group of YouTubers there that like to fly together, so hopefully we'll be doing some of that as well. 126030. 126030, that's not correct. 030. So yeah, hopefully we'll see some group flights coming, or potentially some shared cockpit if we can get it set up.
Wind 10 tree at 14. Visibility 6. Sky condition. Few clouds at 1,200 feet. Few clouds at 4,200 feet. Few clouds at 12,100 feet. Temperature 20. 2.10. Altimeter tree 0.12. ILS runway 09er in use. Landing and departing runway 09er. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back home short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have might. Bristol Airport information.
So they're using 09, which is the eastbound runway, I believe, or the westbound runway. Yeah, the eastbound runway, so they're using the eastbound runway, which will come from the sort of Keynsham direction. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So they've got runway 09 at this end, which comes in over Bath. So when we're flying out, we may have traffic coming in overhead, and we're only going to get to 2,000 feet anyway, so it shouldn't be too many issues. I'm not going to cheat and use the map, so I will turn that off, unless we get really lost. And then I may well consider it. Okay, so batteries are on. We know where we're going. We're departing runway 07 down there. We're in a Cessna 152, fueled, and we are ready to go. All the circuit breakers are in. The mixture is lean at the moment. Mixture's now rich. Carburettor is cold. And we are going to give 3 strokes on the primer. That's not the primer, that's the parking brake. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, throttle up to half. And master is on. Beacon is going on. Propeller area, check we are clear, which we are. Get my track IR set up. This will be a little bit of a more relaxing, less kind of on-time scheduled video, so I'll be a little bit more slow and methodical on this one, particularly as we don't have a set GPS flight plan, if you like, as well. So just keep the track IR off there for a second. Propeller check, ignition switch to start. RPM, so we want to bring the RPM down to essentially 1,000 or less. That'll do. Flaps, make sure they are ready to go. It says up on the checklist, but I'm going to leave them at 10 for the minute. Mixture, lean 1 inch for taxi. Radios are on, and transponder is in standby. Okay, before takeoff, cabin doors are latched, flight controls free and moving correctly, elevator trim, let's get that set. Set for takeoff. Fuel valves are on, mixture is rich. Altimeter is set. Okay, that's carburetor heat, check carburetor heat. Right, we're good to go. This aircraft has got high wings, so you get an absolutely excellent view. Use as much of the runway as we can. Set the brakes, and we will roll Village there on our right, and you can see A37 main road just there down on the right hand side, so that is the main road into Bristol. that's funny. Keynship's just off to the 2 o'clock, sorry, 11 o'clock position, and Bath's off to the 2 o'clock, so that's Bath. Just place left over Keynship. You can see 37 down there. And coming on 2,000 feet, so we can trim off. There is the police station. It's not. That's the police station there, because that's the roundabout that goes on inside of Bristol. So, no, that should be Waitrose, and the police. There's a big police station down here. Should be. Yeah, there. So that's the police station. There's an army barracks there, reserve barracks. That's Waitrose. Yeah, Keynship Street. So we're going to slight left turn now, really, because we're going to follow. This is the Keynship bypass here, so we're going to follow the Keynship bypass up into Brislington, which is over here, which is Bristol East. Tanks should be, so you can see Chew Valley Lake just over there on the left hand side, and Barrow Tanks, which is what I was talking about, which is the Barragoni reservoirs. Then see what labels are some Barrow Tanks. Just over there. I think that there, yeah, that there is the River Raven, and ahead you can see the suspension bridge. Unfortunately, is a little bit of a suicidal spot. That there is golf course. That is. It's a bit of altitude management as well. Doing very well. Tank. the suspension bridge so on. If we haven't already, let's bring us around so we can have a look at that. There she is. There's the suspension bridge. Just sitting out on the back window there. Be able to make out, I think, ahead there. You should be able to see the BRI, Bristol Art Institute in Bristol or in February. I think that's what that building there is, but I could be wrong. Again, it's not going to be 100% accurate either way, so it's hard to see. There's the suspension bridge and the railway line. So there, it's across the road. Lost the accident the other day, unfortunately. Should be able to see Bristol Film Airfield as well. Possible bearing slightly now with it, so I'm sure that will be emerging from the bridge. Should be far right hand side. Back on course. So that was obviously the suspension bridge, and you've got leewards, which is also down there. It's the wooded areas that run parallel to it. So turn on around, and the suspension bridge was obviously part of Brunel's Isambard Kingdom, Brunel. It may well be Nottingham, may well be butchering his name there, but he was obviously the great engineer of many sort of designs, certainly in Bristol. If you look at Bristol Temple Meads, that was all his work. It's an absolutely fantastic pieces of engineering. It's definitely worth a look around Bristol. I think it was in the 1800s, 1860s. And or it was built, obviously he designed it, and then moving the bricks and mortar himself, I'm sure. But yeah, it's absolutely that's a fantastic city. Down here on the right hand side you've got the ape-mounted dock, and on the left you've got the dock. Huge ones. Some interesting things come through there. Again, very old kind of traditions as well. Lots of it's obviously been expanded. 1877 it was the Royal Dock was essentially built to use the Severn Estuary. It's the Bristol company that had it for 850 years, and it's ideally located because it's got its own railway line that runs into it. That's the M5 corridor you can see just off to the 9 o'clock. Most of the new cars come in from this sort of all over the country, really, very around. It's also, unfortunately, where the 3 workers lost their lives recently in the explosion, the tanks explosion. That was just on the right hand side, probably, the chemical plant in Mouth. this all looks very, very good. I've driven up and down this part of the M5 many, many times, and it looks very, very accurate. The trees and the cliffs, the height difference, it looks very good. This will be Porter's Head that we can over now, I believe. Oh no, wait, sorry. Porter's Head is further down. This one Clevedon, and the next one over there is Porter's Head. This is Clevedon. Double check on that just to make sure. No, it is Porter's Head. Clevedon's the next one down. I'm getting myself confused. I'm just going to come the other way. Yeah, so we're pretty much overhead. Over right over to Porter's Head now. There's Porter's Head Marina. Water is not that colour, it's brown and dirty. That's the only thing with Bristol Channel, if you're on holiday there, it's not like the Devon coast. It's brown, murky, and yeah, just like flats and everything. It's got one of the highest rising tides in the UK, which makes it particularly problematic with regards to the mud. Lots of people get stuck in the mud, and you'll see in a minute. You can see Breen down over there in the distance. When we go ahead to Western Sea there, I'll be able to explain it a little bit better. Just trim up very slightly, gain a bit of altitude. We've also got the Birbeck Pier, down at Western, which we'll talk about. Because a lot of people think that was the old pier that burnt down when in fact it wasn't. I haven't got any interesting facts about Clevedon and Porter's Head, I'm afraid, other than the marina, which Clevedon's a relatively nice village. I believe that's the Clevedon School down there. I've only been to Clevedon a handful of times, so I don't know it too well, but if anybody is aware, then please feel free to post it in the comments, or if I've got my facts wrong about anything, please feel free to correct me. Let's get some height. Just a bit of turbulence, so blow around a little bit. From the HOTAS there's a bit of cloud at 4,000 feet and maybe a little bit of cloud at 1,200, but I haven't seen any cloud at 200 yet, 1,200 feet yet, so maybe the clouds will lead us alone and interrupt our nice little trip. So I'm absolutely loving this sim. It is absolutely fantastic if you can't tell already. It's well worth spending the extra money, folks, and getting the premium deluxe version with the extra bits you get in it. I might turn this into a series if we can. I mean, it's really easy for me to fly, or relatively, I should say really easy, it's relatively easy for me to fly, or most people to fly VFR around areas that you know, because you can pick up landmarks. But when it comes down to flying in areas I don't know, it's going to be relying more on the maps. I'll have to get the VFR maps up and make sure I'm aware of the landmarks. Certainly the southwest and the west country, I think we'll start off doing a bit of a tour of the southwest, and we can do some VFR hops around, make it into a series. I'm going to need to speak to the other lads who have contacted me and see what their plans are, what they want to do. So I don't want to be levelling up. down and lose a bit of altitude. Quick fuel check. Good. Check the altimeter. So out there now you can see Flathorn Steep Hole. And in the 11 o'clock, right in the corner, you can see the Birnbeck Pier. Birnbeck Pier. And essentially it was used in the 1800s. It was built entirely, it was man-made island with a bridge that goes out to it, and it was in the 1800s, and it was built for the lifeboats. The actual structure that goes out to it now is pretty much rotted right through, and there are people that do try and get across to it and end up falling through into the mud or into the water. And I think it was used during the Second World War as well for development of weapons and that kind of stuff. And Western Lifeboat Stations was out there until recently, I believe. It may even still have the lifeboat station on there, that night. But I spoke to, I was involved in an event where I spoke to Western, chat with them to us lifeboats years ago. They were in the process of recommissioning it. This here is, I want to say that's definitely Western Supermare Beach there. That's Western Supermare. No, that is Western on the left, and that's Breen down. I think that's Breen Beach further over. Or is it? Yeah, that is Western Supermare Beach there. Didn't see the new pier, unless I missed it. We'll just quickly loop round and I'll show you the, hopefully you'll see the new one, unless it just hasn't been included, it hasn't been mapped to the somewhere down the end of the seafront. I don't think it's been more, but yeah, Western Supermare obviously has the main sort of arcadey type pier, sea pier, which goes out, and you can go in there. It's got different rides and things you can go on, and restaurant and things. And some of you may well remember in 2005, I think it was in Corsair, it burned the place to the ground, essentially. It was obviously declared a major incident by fire and rescue, and they were tackling it for some time. I remember you could see the smoke from down in Burnham-on-Sea, because my grandparents used to live down there, I was with them at the time. You could see the smoke issuing from there. It was an absolutely huge blaze. Western Superman Museum, which is right down in the town in the Somerset Centre. If you ever go in there, they've got a whole exhibit dedicated to the fire and how it started and things like that. I believe it's an electrical fault was put down to. So yeah, it was a large blaze. If you type in on Google, you'll see some pictures of it taken. And that is separate to the Birnbeck Pier, which has got the lifeboat station on. As I say, I don't know if the active lifeboat station is still there. And there was recently a petition to save the Birnbeck Pier, as I believe the council wanted to get rid of it because it was costing them so much money to basically sit there and rot and do nothing. So they didn't want to get rid of it, but I don't know if the local community managed to save it or not. I was saying about Flatholm and Steepholm. So Flatholm is the one on the right, and Steepholm is the one on the left. And they're like bird sanctuary areas outside an actual museum. And bird watchers and fishermen, people go stuff. They were used as forts in the war, as was Breed Down, which is coming up on your left now for obviously naval guns and anti-aircraft installations and things like that. That is, yeah, that's Breed Beach. Breed Down Beach, left. No, it's not, I tell a lie. That is Clevedon Beach behind that we've just flown over, and this is Western Beach, because Western Beach is to the right of Breed, and you come up from Breed Beach onto the down and then you walk down. So that's Breed Down Beach there, and this is Western Super there. However, Western Super Mud, as people like to refer to it, we can't see the pier unless that's meant to be the pier. Down here, so as you get down to the end of Breed Down, is where the weapons installations used to be. There's some buildings which are one of them actually. Yeah, and those are all previous sort of crumbling World War II relics. Yeah, that is a shame. So that's Western Beach. Clevedon Beach is behind, and this is then Breed Beach, and there should be a caravan park down on the left-hand side here, which looks like that's the car park. Some caravans over there maybe. It's not bad at all, it's pretty good modelling. What we'll do is we'll carry on to Western Supermare, we'll carry on past Western Supermare down to Burnham-on-Sea, which is the next one, and that's marked out by the River Parrot just ahead of us. So you've got the River Parrot runs inland from there, and then this is Sturt Island, which runs out in front of Burnham-on-Sea. What we'll do is we'll turn off from Burnham-on-Sea, and we will follow the River Parrot up until we see Cheddar Reservoir. And then once we get overhead Cheddar Reservoir, we will then continue northwest over towards Chew Valley Lake, and we've got plenty of fuel. There was an RAF station, which is now a gliding / microlight club, I think, which is just down in the down in Bridgewater, which is a bit further down. Hinkley Point Power Station should be off to our right there, which that's Hinkley Point Power Station. Come back in, and Bridgewater should be down here somewhere. Bridgewater is an interesting place, should we say that? Some interesting people live in Bridgewater. It gets a lot of stick, but it's not that bad. I think this here is Burnham-on-Sea. So we're flying pretty much directly over Burnham-on-Sea. Further up will be Barrow, that'll be Barrow, and then we've obviously got Breen and Western Supermare. We've got one up there. There was an RAF station down in, an old RAF station at a place called Western Zoyland, which I said is it's a microlight club now. That's Burnham-on-Sea Golf Course, which you can, it's a very nice walk along the beach and then out the back of the golf course, and then you can come back down. And that pond is actually there, which is, because I nearly fell in that as a child, so that is quite well modelled. Yeah, RAF Western Zoyland, which is now a microlights club. The runway's pretty much had it. You wouldn't want to land one of these or a proper aircraft on it, because it's not maintained properly. But they have still got a club there. We'll carry on. And we'll follow the River Parrot. take us down into Bridgewater, I should say. And we'll peel off and we'll pick up the rim racks. Which will take us to Cheddar. I think it's the rim racks, I can't remember. That's Apex Lakes down there. So you can see Apex Lakes, which is in Highbridge. So now turn left over the rim of Parrot, we're coming away from the rim of Parrot now, we're pushing back to northwest, westerly. There's the M5, I believe. Should be M5 there. And Cheddar Gorge should be over here. It's not too bad. It's quite an easy place to fly really, because obviously as long as you keep the coast on your left hand side, you know where you are. There's the railway line. So that's the Great Western Main Line, which is again built by Brunel. Keep it as far Brunel. And this is the river that comes in here, which I can't remember for the life of me what his name is. And there, I believe, is Cheddar Reservoir. Cheddar Reservoir will be on our right, won't it? There's traffic ahead as well, which isn't ideal. There's traffic on our 11 o'clock.
Bristol approach Cessna Sierra 256 Yankee Zulu is type Cessna 15210 miles southwest of Bristol, 1,900 feet. Request flight following. Cessna Sierra 256 Yankee Zulu Bristol approach. Hold 0302.
Right. Zero 0302.
Squawk 0302 Cessna 6 Yankee Zulu. Cessna 6 Yankee Zulu radar. Contact 9 miles southwest of Bristol, 1,900 feet. Altimeter tree 0.09.
So
Roger, Cessna
acknowledge
6
Bristol
Yankee Zulu.
so that they're aware. So we've got traffic on the site now, so it looks like another GA aircraft is probably doing something to us. Whoever that is, if you're watching in a few days' time. Nice bit of flying. Brilliant. Just being nice and disconnected. I just lost sight of that. So Cheddar Reservoir, I'm going to fly pretty much over that. I'm going to go just to the right of it, just so we can get a nice little view of it. Hopefully we'll be able to see Cheddar Gorge as well. I would hope that that big has not been missed, but it surprise me. So this is a Bristol. Yes, this is a Bristol train station. You can walk around it in the summer. It's obviously relatively small in comparison to some of the other ones in the reservoir, so it gets blue and green algae, so you can take your dog down and they don't let them swim in it. This is the main road into Cheddar. No, this is not Cheddar. This is Axbridge Village, just here, and Cheddar Village is actually behind the reservoir, just over here, which then goes up into the gorge. Or you can carry on the A39, which goes to Wells. Wells is where Hot Fuzz was filmed. So it's always worth a visit Wells if you're a Hot Fuzz fan. The police actually recently moved out of the old Wells police station, which was used in the filming. They moved in the fire brigade. A new site, so there was a few things on social media, some of you might have seen if you're local or you follow England, some police on Twitter, etc. They had some bits on there from the old show, and I think a couple of people were sort of reminiscing about it. So that's not the gorge there, and this is the gorge, and it is modelled relatively well by the looks of it. You can't see the road going through it, which there is obviously quite a large road that goes through it to allow you to drive. Ah! There is vehicles down there driving along through houses. It's just waiting to generate. That river that flows down the side, that is accurate, so that's not too bad. Actually, it's better than I was expecting. It looks rather more rocky than green like that. So our next landmark will be Chew Valley Lakes. Chew Valley or Blankton Lake. And we're now obviously flying inland away from the coast, which will make it slightly more difficult to navigate. Bear that in mind. That there is the wetlands reserve. I cannot think what it's. Wedmore, I believe it's called. Wedmore, they call it wetlands reserve thing over there. Field. Wedmore. That there is Wells, I believe. Yes, it is. That is Wells. So we need to fly over too far. So we need to just come around. Keep that arm, just to keep that arm to a block. Yeah, nose up very slightly. Lake. So I'm going to bring us round over Chew Valley Lake, and then we want to get eyes on the village, Stowey Village, and then we should be able to see once we're over to Stowey Village, we should be able to see. See the airfield and go into Sennheiser approach. So next time we need to decide where I'm going to go, and I'm inclined to take off from Clutton Hill again. We'll head down the coast, we'll head out towards the coast. And we'll land maybe at Exeter, depending on what the fuel is doing. We'll have to maybe refuel and then carry on down to the south coast and then come back up the north coast, which which is where the famous southwest coastal path is located. So we go down the south coast all the way to Land's End and then nip back up the north coast of Devon. And we can do some stops along the way. That's Blagdon Lake there. Both are trout fisheries, trout and carp fisheries. There's different species of fishing. You can do either coarse fishing, trout fishing, which you can keep, I believe, obviously they're in said you've got a license, you have to pay a club membership as well. But yeah, both are really popular fishing spots. That's the river tube there. Coming down, I believe. That might be the tube overspill, and then not great places to walk dogs. Tube Valley, you can only walk a dog halfway around before it's pedestrians only. They don't allow dogs to walk way around, and they certainly don't allow dogs in the water. The same thing again in summer, you get blue-green algae, so if you do go there, just bear that in mind if you're down this way on holiday or what have you. I've got a spaniel, so I do like to take it swim. So we tend not to go over there, but it's a nice one nonetheless. Right, now, the airfield, finding the airfield is going to be a bit of a job. Because I've never landed there, so I don't actually know what it looks like. From the air, I didn't look when we took off, which was a fatal error. But I think I've just seen it. I'm descending very slightly. Pretty sure. Steep approach. Oh, it's coming in quite quick as a result, so that's it. We are down. It took me a minute to find it again, actually, as I formed the approach the first time. I lost eyes on, so I had to go around, come back round and try again. The trees mark this end of the runway. I think this is 07, and the way we came in when we first took off, where the game actually plonked us down, I didn't see the hangar that I was talking about earlier on. So it's actually the airfield itself was more better than I thought originally. us up. There's the, this is where the building is. If you actually look at sort of the markings for the airfield, but if you actually look at this on Google Earth, Clutton Hill Airfield, you will see there's these white marks and there's a plane parked up, but I believe there is a hangar also. I've never actually been to Clutton Hill Airfield, so I couldn't tell you from first-hand experience. We'll go ahead and shut down. Pull the mixture right out, turn the magnetos to off, turn the transponder off, battery masters off, and knock the lights off. Not too bad, I suppose, for seeing as I haven't done it for a long time. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Tried to give a little bit of my knowledge and sort of history along the way. Turn the track IR off to prevent it moving around, get rid of that. Next time I think we'll fly a bit further south. Maybe we'll do the south coast, as I say. We could always fly via Salisbury. I know Salisbury Cathedral is meant to be modelled as a point of interest, so head down there and have a look at that. Head down onto the sort of Dorset and Jurassic coast, and we can potentially handrail that down and either refuel at Exeter or Bodmin, and then come back up the north coast and either land here or potentially Cologne or another area, which we'll have to do during the day. I'm trying to keep in real time, so I'm flying at real time today, obviously in real weather, and yeah, it's definitely good fun, so hopefully some people are enjoying it, and potentially I'll catch up with Chunk and some of the other guys at some point. Thanks very much, guys. If you liked it, please give us a thumbs up or leave a comment, subscribe if you want to see more of the videos. If not, then I hope you enjoyed it anyway. Take care, bye bye.